And so it continues. Hello there, welcome back to Max's Writing Advice Q&A. In tonight's episode, I have a selection of questions picked by a random number generator, but sent by viewers just like you. Every week, I grab questions sent by viewers like you, and I seek to answer them in as quick a manner as possible, because I sure can ramble. This week we have a special episode, because I started rolling the dice and I kept getting really small questions that I can pretty much answer in like a minute or two. So instead I'm gonna answer like 5 questions today. I hope you don't mind. Before I go on anywhere though, allow me to remind you, as always, that the following is merely just my advice, my opinion, and what works for me. Don't take it as gospel, instead take it as the ramblings of a silly person who looks a little bit, or rather precisely like this. Alright, let's do this. Let's dive right in. No timer today because these questions are real short. How many antagonists is too many? I feel like this is not really an issue of quantity, rather than it is an issue of clarity. What I'm saying is this. If this story is clearly written and the reader can follow along and all of these antagonists serve a purpose, I think there's absolutely no problem. If your story requires you to have 10 unique and different antagonistical forces that stand in the way of our character, then that is completely fine by me, no complaints. I will recommend you though, during the act of revision, to make sure to stop and be more critical than you usually would, to make sure that, you know, these characters are actually serving a purpose. It's not because I don't believe that a story can have a lot of antagonists. I think it can, but it's a matter of them serving a purpose and it being clear to the reader. And also, as a little bit of an extra bonus, make sure that, and this is a little bit random, but please follow me up on this, make sure that all of these antagonists have names that look and have different structures entirely. I read a book once where like there were 5 antagonists and they all had names that started with like A, and there came a point where that got real hard to follow. So again, it's all about clarity, not really quantity. Question the second! How do you keep writing and keep up your motivation? I think that for me, I used to break it down like this. It's 30% me just writing about the things that excite me, the things that are fun for me. I write for me and myself first. I don't write for other people. I don't write for the market. That's futile. If there's anything that's completely futile, it's that. I write for myself, I write to entertain myself, and then I just happen to share that with the world. The other 30% is music. I have playlists for all of my characters, and I know that it sounds silly, and I know that some people think that it's just ridiculous, but I like to listen to silly pop songs and anime openings and imagine my characters, because it makes them feel a lot more real and a lot more close. It's less the first draft of a story that may come out in like 2 years from now, and it's more of like the characters are already here and I can already imagine them. Having music and writing playlists just really help me. Those are the things that I listen to when I'm out on walks, when I'm on the treadmill, when I'm, doing things that are kind of boring. Music really helps. And finally, I would have to say that the last 40% is just reckless abandon. Just do it. Just do it. Just write the story. Don't even think about what the world is gonna think or say about it. Just do it. Almost as an act of defiance against the world itself. And I know that sounds like a little pretentious when I say it like that, but honestly, like, one of the things that I can feel whenever I'm writing, like the story that I'm writing right now, which is particularly sad, and it's kind of dark, and I know that we're in a really dark and sad period right now, but I feel like I have to write this story, if anything, because it means a lot to me, and just because it means a lot to me, I feel like I deserve the chance to tell that story regardless of that. So yeah, 40% of my things that keep me going is just reckless abandon. Just do it out of principle, because there's a story that you want to tell and you deserve the right to tell it. Question the third. What are your thoughts on Wattpad? What is Wattpad, you ask? Wattpad is an online service that allows people to put their stories online in a part-by-part basis. How do I feel about it? I like it. I use it. I've been putting up my stories on it. I really like Wattpad. I think that it's really user-friendly, and it's gotten to this point now where Wattpad is almost being taken like legitimately seriously. I've been reading articles where publishers are actually looking at places like Wattpad, for new authors and stuff like that. It's mostly because like reads and views look really well to publishers. So it's one of those things where like our medium as a writing is changing, and having a lot of reads and a lot of views or followers on Wattpad could potentially lead you to be traditionally published. But at that point, why would you need a traditional publisher anyway? But hey, that's just me. But no, yeah, I like Wattpad. I think it's one of the best websites for putting your work out there. Question the fourth. What if you have plot/characters for a story, but only random parts of it? My story feels disjointed and scattered because of that. Real quick question. Have you seen the movie Reservoir Dogs? Have you seen the movie Pulp Fiction? Have you seen anything by Quentin Tarantino? A story doesn't need to be told chronologically to be effective. A story can be told from different points of view and different points of time, disjointed if you may. It's ultimately just a matter of execution. I would like to recommend you to consider playing with the medium. Examine books, movies, TV shows, storytelling mediums in which they consider a different way of telling stories. And I know that this sounds like I'm kind of phoning it in, but let me tell you one more thing. My college professor, Marcy, she actually used to just write scenes at random, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, because every writer is differently. I can't do that. I write chronologically because that's the way my brain is wired, but some people write differently. My college professor used to write scenes, and then she would just arrange them into a way that made sense, and that's how she told stories. Everyone is different. Find the way that works for you. If anything, if you take one thing from my videos and from the way that I do things, find a way that works for you, okay? Okay. It's been forever since I've actually tackled questions so effectively, without rambling, like I'm doing right now. Anyhow, oh yeah, the question. I keep losing motivation after I work hard on something, even though the project is going well. This is due to lack of readers. I'm just starting out, so I don't have many readers, obviously, but I'm very impatient, and after each chapter I am just drained. Advice? Well, first off, consider the answer that I gave a couple of questions back. But ultimately, aside from, write for you, write the stories that are fun for you, that excite you, do that. I've heard people in the past be like, that's selfish, and my response to that is always like, as opposed to that, writing for a phantom person, writing for the market, which is always changing, like, writing for yourself is entirely fine. You're gonna dedicate so much time to writing, especially with my next point, so you might as well just write about the things that excite you, the things that actually make you happy and make you want to get up and write. Now, as for my other point, I'm gonna tell you the secret to how to make it big online. Are you ready? You make things, you let people know, and you keep making things. It's as simple as that. Everyone that you like online, everyone that's, big or has gotten to some sort of extent of fame or fortune, has gotten there by making things, letting the world know, and make more and more and more. It takes time. It's like growing a tree. There's a really nice Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. It takes time. It's like a tree. You'll give you fruit. Things will get better, but you just have to keep going. And I know that it sucks when you're feeling like this and someone just tells you keep trying, keep working hard. But honestly, that's really the only way, because when you look at your options, you can either keep going or stop, and I want you to keep going. I want you to keep working on what means the world to you and what you like to do, which in this case is telling stories. Keep going, keep doing that. It takes time and it takes a lot of hard work, but you can do it. There's no secret to this. There's no secret formula. There's no secret community that decides who makes it big and who doesn't. It's all just hard work. And don't forget the second step. Tell people. Tell people. Post about it on your blog. Share it online. Even if you have just like 10 followers. Tell people. No one is gonna know that you're putting these stories out there if you don't tell them. It's really as simple as that. And I know that people out there are gonna be like, oh, it's a hassle, or you're annoying people. Maybe, but what's the alternative? You don't tell people, they never find out about your work. Make stuff, tell the world, keep making stuff. That's the formula right there, okay? Keep going. I know you can do this. Keep going. And that's about it for today's questions. Wow, that was strangely fun to just tackle a bunch of questions in one video. I may try to do this again sometime. If you have much more smaller questions you would like me to tackle, I could even fit in like a couple more within this video format, so let me know what you think. For the time being though, I would also like to hear your own feelings on the questions that were answered today. Share with us your own point of view because it's as valid as mine and as everyone else's. But anyhow, for the time being, I gotta get going. Thank you for watching, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I'll see you on the next one.